The new boss has been targeting me relentlessly. My best friend, M, suggested, write him a love letter. That'll shut him up. I did exactly that. The next day in the CEO's office, John held my love letter between his fingers, lips quirking upward. How about skipping the formalities and getting our marriage license today? Western or Chinese wedding? What carat size for the engagement ring? Jess, care to work overtime tonight? During the meeting, John tapped the conference table absently without looking up. I opened my mouth to protest. He snapped his file shut and met my eyes. Overtime pay included. Right away. John. Money talks. Walking back to our department with colleagues after the meeting, I overheard my name. Jess nailed that last project and got the bonus. Shouldn't she treat us to coffee? Though irritated, I forced a smile and pulled out my phone to take orders. A familiar sandalwood scent passed by, John's signature cologne. I jogged to catch up. John. Coffee's on me. What'll you have? He paused, tilting his head with detached politeness. No need. Thank you. Months working together. Yet he still acted like an ice sculpture. What did I ever do to this man? Colleagues whispered weekend plans, throwing me pitying looks. I maintained my plastic smile while mentally cursing a storm. During dinner break, I vented to M. Fourth time this month. Always me stuck with overtime. Pretty face my ass, total nightmare boss. Should've listened to my mom, pretty men are the most dangerous. M chuckled. Weren't you swooning over his looks last month? Now it's all complaints? Teenage delusions. I spat. Didn't know better. After her reassurances, I asked, how's Snowball? Vet update? 4 fluids working. Sending photos. My heart melted seeing the white cat sleeping peacefully at the animal hospital. My anger subsided. Fine. I'll endure this hell for Snowball. M pondered. There's one trick that might stop his harassment. What? Write him a love letter. Decent guys soften up. Creeps get grossed out, either way you win. 2 months earlier, when the headquarters announced a new executive was coming, I was completely in the dark. That day ended up becoming one big embarrassing joke. The hospital called saying little Joy's condition had worsened and I needed to sign surgical consent forms. Unable to find my supervisor, I sent him a rushed WeChat message explaining the situation. Early departure was strictly prohibited by company policy. I sneaked to the parking lot like a thief, only to find an unfamiliar black Audi blocking my car. Dialing the number on the windshield note, my eyes caught the unusually prestigious license plate. Could this belong to some VIP client? I was about to hang up when the call connected. Hello? The voice sounded crisp and youthful. After I explained the situation, the polite man promised to move his car immediately. I sighed in relief there were still decent people in this world. The relief evaporated when I saw my usually arrogant supervisor scurrying after a man in a black dress shirt rolling up his sleeves. You should have let us handle such trivial matters. John. No need to trouble yourself. Don't mention it. My poor parking caused the inconvenience anyway. Our eyes met. Though I didn't know his identity yet, I already sensed impending doom. My supervisor nearly popped a vein seeing me, shooting warning glares while introducing through gritted teeth, "This is John Harrison from headquarters." Having just lost my perfect attendance bonus, I mumbled a defeated Mr. Harrison. Emergency? The man asked after moving his car, leaning out the window. Need a ride? Under different circumstances, I might have flirted with those sharp cheekbones and gold-rimmed glasses. But joy came first. My daughter needs surgery, I shouted while speeding past, missing how his grip tightened on the steering wheel. Later that night, smelling of antiseptic and defeat, I jumped at his voice. Jess? John stood in his slightly wrinkled iron gray shirt, evening glasses softening his features. He set down a coffee, Rough day. You don't say. I forced a smile. My office. Now. Expecting another task. I instead found steaming takoyaki pushed toward me. Eat. Then clock out. But my reports. Work never ends. Then why make me overtime? The words slipped out. His glasses glinted as he looked up. Angry? Frustrated. I admitted. These urgent tasks you keep assigning, they're meaningless. And you dismiss me within the hour anyway. Why? He leaned back. The ghost of a smile playing beneath his professional mask. Perhaps I simply enjoy watching you pretend not to check the clock every 3 minutes. The coffee suddenly tasted different. Sweeter. More dangerous. Are you trying to teach me a lesson because I left early last time? First, you had me water the office plants. Then you made me organize the handful of books on your shelf. Third, you wanted me to walk your dog, which I refused. Sorry, John. My cat Mittens is allergic to dog hair. I'll never forget the look in his eyes, briefly wounded but quickly masked, before he said it was fine. Honestly, these post-work tasks feel like he's just inventing busy work. He paused mid-sentence when his phone rang. The screen flashed, most formidable Vicky Harrison. Was it my imagination? Or did relief flicker in his gaze? He answered on speakerphone right in front of me. John Harrison. You're hiding at the office again. Ignoring me as usual. Huh? That lovely Dave Clark is waiting, smart and charming. What's wrong with meeting him? Oh. So he's dodging arranged marriages. Brutal. John shot me a look and said into the phone. Mom. I'm genuinely working late. My employee's here, ask her yourself. He raised an eyebrow, signaling me to back him up. Leaning toward the phone, I chirped. Vicky. John really is working. I'm his assistant. Vicky snorted skeptically but relented. Fine. But dragging this girl into overtime? Unhealthy. John replied in his CEO voice. Triple overtime pay. Policy. After hanging up, I blurted. I'll keep your marriage drama secret. Good night. John. I grabbed my takoyaki and bolted. His stare burned into my back. So he's hiding from matchmaking? Why rope me in? Sure. Triple pay's nice. But I'd rather slack off than babysit a workaholic. M's terrible idea popped into my head. A love letter? Easy. 10 minutes later, I'd crafted a cringeworthy page of over-the-top declarations, guaranteed to repel anyone. The next day, I slipped into John's office and tucked the letter into a priority folder. What are you doing? His voice froze me mid-sneak. I spun around, clutching a half-finished soy milk. Brought you this. Then feigned realization, wait. You hate soy milk. Never mind. Thanks. He took the cup and sipped it expressionlessly. My jaw dropped. That had my lipstick stain. Problem? He asked, noting my stare. We basically indirect kissed 3 seconds ago. Get it? I stayed silent. Everyone knew about his germophobia. He'd sanitize public chairs and change clothes over a water droplet. Better confess now. Doomed either way. I bit my lip anxiously. Mr. Harrison. I need to tell you, Jess. Someone sent you flowers. The secretary knocked on the door. I muttered one moment and stepped out distractedly. A delivery man thrust vibrant red roses into my arms, wiping sweat from his brow. Jessica Wilson? Please sign here. Colleagues swarmed around asking about the sender. My mind went blank until discovering a card nestled between blooms. Day 45 of Loving You starts with flowers, Pete. My vision darkened. Of course it was him. Pete had been my mother's ill-advised blind date from 3 months prior. I'd explicitly stated my disinterest in dating during our first meeting. He'd countered with cheerful persistence, launching this floral siege. Mother must have leaked my workplace address. His voice answered instantly. Sunlight in every syllable, like the roses. I can't accept these. Silence stretched before his quiet response, then discard them. I'll reimburse you. I opened my mobile payment app. Don't bother. I won't accept transfers. Fine. I exchanged 300 yuan cash with a coworker, handing it to the waiting deliverman. Take this to Pete at this address. I'll cover the delivery fee. As colleagues demanded explanations about the flowers, I grinned. Why not share the wealth? Clutching the bouquet, I entered John's office. He sat scowling at documents, elegant fingers massaging his temples. After clearing my throat, I began, Sir. I should confess something earlier. He lifted his gaze, intercepting my speech. Jessica Wilson, you have feelings for me? I blinked, admiring his chiseled features counted. Right? Then I noticed the love letter I'd plagiarized last night pinched between his fingers. Explain this. His stern tone carried dangerous undertones. Had I overplayed this charade? Swallowing hard, I doubled down. Yes, sir. I've admired you for years. His eyebrow arched. Desperation fueled my improv. We attended the same high school. You never noticed me watching from the shadows. The agony of unrequited love. You think I don't understand longing? He murmured, pain flashing across his face. Oh, the CEO had hidden heartbreak. I averted my eyes. Continuing my rehearsed script, when you joined our company, I saw destiny. These late nights working together, how could I waste this chance? Be mine. John. Don't look at other women. Quit your job, I'll keep you barefoot in my penthouse. Christ. I sounded like a deranged fangirl. The words nearly slipped through gritted teeth as I fought to suppress laughter. Like some lunatic. Any normal person would have considered calling the police or fled. John listened without interruption, his ears visibly reddening upon closer inspection. Do you really like me that much? I nodded vigorously. Madly. What if I rejected you? His eyes clouded with conflict. Feigning heartbreak. I declared. Then I'll never marry. His face flushed crimson. Internal victory fireworks exploded. He's blushing. Holy shit. I'm a genius. Anticipating the Yuri excused from overtimeline, I instead watched amusement spark in his eyes. He stood, approaching to gaze at the bouquet in my arms. For me? Nearly drooling. I nodded repeatedly. Technically, it's an apology gift. Accepted. The apology? But I haven't even, dread coiled in my gut. Unless, John twirled my love letter between fingers. Lips quirking. I accept your confession. Since I prefer decisive moves, his next words dropped like bombshells. Shall we get the marriage license? Would your daughter mind? Never mind. I'll handle it. Western or Chinese wedding? Carrot preference for the ring? My jaw hit the floor. You're serious? His smile dimmed. Aren't you? Am I? Later. I cornered Mike, John's right-hand man from headquarters. What's John's stance on relationships? Mike pondered. After being scammed by some gold digger years ago, he battled depression. Can't handle deception now, another betrayal might trigger unpredictable reactions. My humor evaporated. I'd poked a wounded bear. John's willingness to entertain my absurd proposal stemmed from trauma, indulging me while mending his scars. Pathetic. Tragic. Emily clapped when I confessed. Wow. What a hopeless romantic. If time travel existed, I'd strangle yesterday's self. Maybe claim boredom and break up? My only escape plan. That evening, I glimpsed John's phone, my contact name now Riyadh Fiancé. This escalated way too fast. Em shook her head, thinking it unwise. You claim to have had a secret crush on him since high school, yet you're breaking up within a day? He's a person, not an idiot. Okay? She motioned me to sit closer. 90% of guys lose interest faster than girls. Smother him. Invade his personal space. And unless he's some rare exception, he'll dump you first. Action followed immediately. At midnight, I called John precisely. Mike mentioned he kept strict schedules, this should be his deepest sleep. The ringtone lasted 5 seconds before his sleep-roughened voice answered without greeting. Only heavy breathing. My courage wavered. Are you asleep? Not yet. What's wrong? Impressive patience despite the disturbance. Nothing, I just missed you so much I had to hear your voice. I dug nails into my palm, forcing vulnerability into my tone. Silence stretched until I nearly retreated. Then his low chuckle vibrated through the receiver. Jess, you're really this obsessed with me? I pressed the advantage. Of course. If I could, I'd glue myself to you 24/7. Why didn't you say you missed me? Why delay answering? Are you with another woman? Do I have to initiate every contact? Getting sick of me already? You never loved me. The script demanded my next line, let's break up. Bed linens rustled on his end. Then let's move in together. What fresh madness was this? I hung up instantly. Next morning, a steaming breakfast awaited at my desk with a note, made this myself. Hope you like it. John's handwriting. My neighboring coworker leaned over curiously. Panicking. I crumpled the paper and swallowed it. Jess, are you starving? That's dangerous. I pouted dramatically. You wouldn't understand. I love my boyfriend so much I can't bear anyone else seeing his messages. Keeping it inside me feels right. Truthfully, I feared exposure of John's involvement. Within 60 seconds, my phone buzzed, answering like a guilty mistress. I whispered, Mr. Harrison? Come to my office. Arctic tones. I refuse. He growled my name. Are you suicidal or just childish? Eating paper. You'll never comprehend Yandere tendencies. Silence. Then, what? I did my research last night. Real life tolerates zero obsessive behavior, you won't be the exception. I snarled threats, I'll stalk your every move. Try escaping, and I'll end you. Mortifying words. Yet his responding laugh curled like smoke. Deal. Cheater. Using his damn charm. I doubled down, determined to repulse him through suffocating affection. Mike mentioned he'd be in critical meetings all day. I pretended to call deliberately, keeping my expression neutral while secretly thrilled. If you dare hang up, I'll break up with you. But before 3 seconds of joy passed, he answered. Behave. I'm in a meeting. Then $50,000 transferred into my account with voluntary gift in the memo. Hanging up. I covered my eyes giggling. Damn it. I really hate to admit this. I totally fall for his tactics. After work, while waiting for the elevator, I texted M that the method didn't work. Someone blocked my path. Jess, you can't fool me now. I saw you reject Pete's confession last time using no feelings as excuse. You're clearly single. The man in oversized black frames had been my persistent admirer. Since I disliked him, I'd claimed to be divorcing my husband while fighting for daughter's custody, emphasizing my husband's anger issues and tendency to get violent. He reluctantly backed off. Later I found this persona useful against workplace harassment and maintained it. That damn bouquet from Pete exposed my lie. Such a troublemaker. No matter. I simply named John. My husband's your boss. Really want to compete with him? He turned livid, shameless. What makes you think Harrison would want trash like you? Worse excuse than last time. Scanning the crowd, I saw colleagues' shocked yet skeptical faces. How frustrating nobody believed such juicy gossip. I'm being honest. The elevator doors opened as co-workers collectively stepped back. Eerie silence fell. Looking up, I saw John in business suit leaning against the wall. Jess, come in. We need to talk. After-hours summons from the boss never meant good news. Sympathetic glances followed me. A friend whispered, "Don't worry. We'll keep your nonsense from reaching him." How kind. Meeting his amused gaze, I entered with prickling scalp, positioning myself near the doors without daring to look back. His stare burned through me. "Why nervous?" I retorted, "Just restraining myself from pouncing on you. Saving your dignity." Staring rigidly ahead, I cursed the sluggish elevator. His chuckle tightened my nerves. I clenched trembling hands as he approached until our arms brushed. "You never answered last night. What about moving in together?" Meeting his eyes firmly, I said, "No." John's smile widened. "Didn't you demand 24/7 access? Regretting your own trap?" "Sir Harrison, may I ask, what happened to women who previously deceived you?" The conversation took an unexpected turn. The man studied me intently for a long moment. "You really want to know?" When I nodded firmly, he smiled wryly. "It's miserable. Worse than death." Mainly wanting to gauge the consequences of full disclosure, I pressed on. He averted his gaze, scratching his head as if wrestling with self-inflicted troubles destined for failure. My face drained of color instantly. When Em heard about this mess, she half-jokingly suggested, "Why not make the fake relationship real?" Absolutely not. His lingering attachment to his first love was palpable. How could I intrude? I refused with utmost seriousness. She nibbled her thumbnail while scrolling through her phone, then suddenly brightened. "Another plan. This time, failure isn't an option." M's strategy involved making someone dread being alone with you by constantly borrowing money. Thus began my daily messages to John requesting unspecified loans. After a week with no results, M frowned. "Unbelievable. Any sane person would have blocked their crush over this." I sighed. "He transfers $1,000 instantly every time. Even asks if I need more. It's touching." "Idiot!" M exploded. "With his wealth, $1,000 is pocket change. Ask for more." She held up 5 fingers. $50,000 should end this farce." After hours of hesitation, I tentatively messaged, "Need $50,000. Your call." The instant transfer notification made my jaw drop. Seriously? No questions asked? By day 3, payments arrived before I even asked. Fuming, I stormed to John's desk mid-Zoom meeting. He raised an inquisitive brow while fluidly discussing international logistics in French, his voice like velvet. Years later, during late-night whispers, John would revisit that moment. "Know what I told them when you appeared?" he murmured, lips grazing my ear. "Je quelqu'un dans mon si? You are. Etlse tient just devant moi. I have someone in my heart. And she's standing right before me." Before resolving this, new trouble emerged. Vicky summoned me secretly. "Don't tell John," she insisted. During the cab ride, I mentally rehearsed every soap opera cliché: wealthy matriarchs presenting blank checks, ultimatums about leaving her son. I was even a little excited. This meant I could naturally break up with John now. So I kept thinking about how to play the role of a woman desperately in love who couldn't bear to leave him. But when I arrived, a woman who didn't look much older than me came running over excitedly, almost twisting her ankle. "I'll pay any amount as long as you don't leave my son." John's mother looked so young. Not only young, but her words confused me. That was my internal monologue. I tried to tarnish my image in front of her. "Mrs. Harrison, I've been persistently chasing your son using underhanded methods. Really shameful stuff." She waved cheerfully. "That boy's lucky to get such treatment." I insisted. "I constantly badmouth him behind his back. Take secret photos. Stalk him, basically act like a total creep. You get it?" Vicky looked startled, nodding blankly. "I don't fully understand. But, you young people have your ways." When that didn't work, I decided to come clean. 5 minutes passed. The tea on the table grew cold. The woman across from me kept clasping her hands without moving. I nervously called out, "Vicky?" She sighed. "John's been hurt before. Whenever I push him to date, he either avoids it or says he'll date a man to spite me. When I heard he had a girlfriend, I was truly happy. But I can tell, you don't really care for him. Still, I'd beg you to stay with him a while longer." I hesitated. "Mrs. Harrison, what if he finds out?" She tilted her chin up regretfully. "He already knows." Turning around, there stood stone-faced John. At that moment, I was already drafting my resignation letter in my head. The quiet cave filled with tense silence. I nervously stirred my coffee. John removed his glasses. Expression icy, nothing to say. This time, I could tell he was genuinely angry. "I'm sorry. I lied about my feelings. I swear I'm completely sincere right now." But this seemed to infuriate him more. "Second time. Jess. You've played this trick on me twice now." My mind went blank from his accusations. Second time? Had we met before? 8 years ago. At Bright Virtue High. You gave me that love letter outside the boys' bathroom. The man ground out the words through clenched teeth. My nerves spiked as I tried recalling teenage embarrassments. Was that true? My near-drowning incident years ago left me with spotty memory. Seeing my genuine confusion, John looked devastated. The atmosphere turned glacial. I didn't dare move. John turned away, roughly wiping his eyes before standing abruptly. "Forget it." Long after he'd left, I remained frozen. Unless I was mistaken, did he just cry? Love letters? Oh right. Back then you were obsessed with that school bully. Trying to play the heroine redeeming the bad boy from those novels. You wrote him love letters every other day. Brought him lunchboxes. Dedicated cheesy love songs over the school radio. Real main character energy. Emily's words hit me like a bucket of ice water. Teenage me had terrible taste crushing on some delinquent who skipped classes and picked fights. Thinking honor roll students were boring. But damn, that troublemaker was ridiculously hot. I pursued him with tunnel vision, only to realize he'd been playing me all along. He even mocked me as the most persistent simpin friend of his new girlfriend. My temper back then wasn't as controlled as now. Without thinking, I shot back, "You really thought you were special? Please." I emptied my backpack, distributing a dozen unsent love letters to every guy in the men's restroom right under his furious glare. Naturally, I only handed them to the cute ones. One guy stood out stupidly handsome, the kind whose face regularly topped the academic honor boards. My anti-nerd phase made me ignore his name. Later at sports day, I collapsed from heat stroke. Through blurred vision, I saw someone scoop me up. His heartbeat thundered against my ear. Crisp white shirt carrying faint cedarwood scent. He tattled. I mumbled, "Haven't we met before? Since you saved me, I'll do your homework for a month. Deal?" The arms around me tightened, but the guy stayed silent. After depositing me at the infirmary, he finally spoke. "Hard pass." So friggin' aloof. I drifted off disappointed. Now that I think about it, those sharp features, that distinctive cologne, the curt mannerisms, they all match John 8 years later. I texted John but got radio silence. Maybe intentional. Maybe busy. Weekend's almost over anyway. The clinic called saying Snowball could come home. Finally some good news. Pete handed me the cat. Smiling faintly, "Wasn't sure you'd show. He's the best vet in town. Which is why I haven't blocked him yet." Of course. My baby's recovered. What kind of mom would I be? Snowball meowed insistently in my arms. Pete explained, "She missed you." I covered the fluff ball in kisses before remembering my manners. "Dinner's on me." "Free now?" He checked his Rolex. "Lead the way." I chose a place matching his tax bracket. Over appetizers. He casually mentioned, "Your mom called last week. Asked me to look out for you." I chuckled. "Don't mind her. I'll talk to her later. You're so busy, it's not right to keep bothering you." "It's no trouble." He looked at me. "I'm happy to help." Suddenly, the sound of shattering glass erupted nearby. A waiter apologized. "Sir, are you burned? I'm so sorry." I turned toward the commotion and unexpectedly locked eyes with John standing in the center of the restaurant. His expression was stormy. The waiter offered to compensate for his stained suit. "No need. I was standing in your way." "It's not your fault," John said calmly, brushing water droplets from his clothes before walking away without a backward glance. I apologized to Pete and rushed after him. John walked fast, ignoring my calls. "John." It was the first time I'd ever shouted his full name. He froze, then slowly turned. I caught up, breathless. He stood motionless, suit jacket slung over one shoulder, eyes filled with mockery. "You left him to chase me? Won't he get angry?" After just one day apart. He felt like a stranger. I stepped closer, gathering courage. I remember everything now. His face hardened. "So what?" He was still furious. I didn't know how to fix this. So I blurted, "I don't know if I should apologize for forgetting you. But thank you for saving my sorry ass back then." "Jess," he said icily, "I don't care about your excuses. Go back to him." He turned to leave, panicking. I grabbed his hand tightly. "Was it really me who broke your heart? Did I cause your emotional issues?" He tried to shake me off. "Let go. You liked me 8 years ago, didn't you?" He went rigid. "Are you enjoying this?" "What?" Suddenly, he twisted his hand to grip mine, yanking me against him. His arm locked around my waist. "Is this fun for you?" John repeated through gritted teeth, eyes blazing. "Do you need to hear me say it?" "Fine. Yes. I've loved you since we were teenagers. I took this job to be near you. That first day we met again. I tried to act normal but couldn't because I've never stopped wanting you. Happy now?" Under the dim street lamp, a sliver of light caught the desperation in his eyes, the helplessness, the vulnerability. It scared me. This was the look of someone in love. John lowered his gaze. "You transferred schools without telling me. Said goodbye to everyone except me. For 8 years. I tried to erase you. But I couldn't. They all said I was sick. But I didn't think so. I just missed you too much." He leaned down, his forehead touching mine. A warm tear fell on my face. He whispered, "Jess, when you said you liked me that day, it took me a minute to convince myself I'd willingly be the other woman. That's when I finally regained my senses." I created some distance and looked up. "The other woman?" John nodded honestly. "Aren't you in the middle of divorcing your husband? Still fighting for custody? Yet you confessed to me." I had to convince myself being the other woman was better than having no status at all. I suddenly wanted to laugh. And I did. John looked adorably clueless, not understanding my laughter. He grew flustered and tried to pull away. I held him tighter. "Running? I won't eat you." The man's earlier confidence had evaporated. His voice soft now. "You're laughing at me." I pulled my sleeping cat from the carrier. Lifting its head, I said, "Wake up. Meet your new dad." John was completely stunned, stammering, This is your daughter?" "Yep." "Then where's your husband?" I stroked the cat, my eyes darting. People kept trying to set me up. When rejections didn't work, I just said I was married. No marriage certificate. But everyone backed off immediately. John muttered, "No wonder. My investigators found no record of your marriage." Yet you kept insisting you had a husband. Feeling mischievous, I teased. Does it matter? You're still the second wife anyway. With the air cleared, the man regained his composure. Pinching my cheek gently, he said, "Dream on. You'll only have me in this lifetime." The cat gave a symbolic meow. "Did Dave ask you for money recently?" My colleague across the desk asked. It took me a moment to place the name. Seriously? That guy who's been chasing you for months? The one who cornered you in the elevator last week? You don't even know his name? Oh, that lunatic. I frowned. No. Why? He got fired last week. Total slacker. Now he's sleeping all day and borrowing money from everyone when he's broke. Fired? This was news to me. I heard he got in through some manager's connections. Skated by for years without consequences. Only one person could have actually done something about it. Right at closing time, my phone buzzed in the parking lot. I was the last to leave. The elevator descended directly to the garage. A black Cayenne pulled up. Window rolling down to reveal John. "Before you get in, can I threaten you first?" Lately he'd been acting childish. Changing our profile pictures to matching sets forced me to tell coworkers it was coincidence. Secretly ordering rings that he'd sulk about if I forgot to wear. Taking revenge in bed. When I casually praised a novel's perfect billionaire protagonist, he started showering me with black cards. Luxury bags. Randomly tossing me villa deeds. Now he wore custom suits daily. Rotating cars like weekly fashion. Playing along. I answered. Go ahead. We'll see. His eyes sparkled with mischief as he leaned closer. If you don't get in this car right now, I'll have to carry you. The engine purred as he added. Home to our villa. Where I'll make you call me husband all night. I climbed into the passenger seat. Laughing. Such a terrifying threat. He fastened my seatbelt with exaggerated care. Stealing a kiss mid-click. You started it. Mrs. Harrison. The cat carrier between us emitted a disgruntled meow. John glanced at our furry chaperone. Don't worry. Mittens. You'll always be our firstborn. As we drove off, his hand found mine on the gearshift twin platinum bands glinting under parking lot lights. When are you going to officially make me your wife? I don't want to be too public. So we've kept it secret for a month since getting together. John started making a fuss. Depends on your performance. I thought he'd become more eager hearing that. But unexpectedly, that night, the man sneaked into bed and pinned me down. Wait, I'll show you my performance right now. Me? Is this how you misinterpret things? As dawn light filtered through the window, exhaustion kept me awake. Give me your hand. A strikingly defined hand appeared before me. Dazedly, I extended mine. He slid a moon-white jade bracelet onto my wrist. Our family heirloom. Keep it on. It looks expensive. I can't accept this. I tried to remove it. He instantly interlaced his fingers tightly with mine. His tone brooking no argument. Jess. You don't get a choice. I'd known about the marriage proposal plans. Honestly, John had been painfully obvious. That day, he kept making blunders, even calling me a fee during a business meeting. I got to experience being the center of attention firsthand. Still, knowing didn't prepare me for the actual proposal scene he'd meticulously arranged. My heart still fluttered. The man nervously dropped to both knees, making the crowd stifle laughter. I held back mine, worried he'd lose courage. Jess, will you marry me? His trembling hand held the ring. Yes. The moment I said it, John flushed crimson. The 3-month wedding preparation was extravagantly grand. My jaw dropped seeing Pete there. John leaned in from behind. I invited him. A man's intuition, he won't move on until he sees you married. How childish. The final tradition involved tossing the bouquet, symbolizing who'd marry next. But I added a twist, replacing flowers with lettuce symbolizing prosperity. That day, a stage full of self-proclaimed marriage-free millennials went wild grabbing it. M emerged victorious. John's teenage side story. I first heard Jess in an infuriating afternoon. How bad was it? I nearly jumped into the 40-foot deep pond ahead. Disappear. Die. A paper airplane skidded across the water's surface. A girl dashed over like the wind, muttering, "Where's my brain? Where's my brain?" She sprawled by the pond, straining to reach it. I've never liked playing hero. My heart was filled with irritation at being disturbed. I turned to leave. Before I'd gone far, I heard a splash. Someone had fallen into the water. She screamed for help a few times before the water swallowed her completely. Only diminishing bubbles rose from the bottomless pond. I wasn't heartless enough to let her drown. I jumped in without even removing my watch. She struggled violently in the water. I grabbed her. When I pulled her onto shore, the girl collapsed, unconscious from choking on water. After 3 seconds of hesitation, I found myself bending down to perform CPR. My first kiss went to this complete stranger. When school staff arrived, I only caught a glimpse of the name engraved on her campus badge, Jessica Wilson. I remembered her properly outside the men's restroom. She thrust a love letter into my hands, tilting her head with big Bambi eyes. "I like you," she said. "This is for you." I didn't buy it. She didn't even know my name. I reluctantly accepted it, curious about her game. The next day, she walked past me laughing with friends. On the third day in the cafeteria, she stepped on my foot. "Sorry," she mumbled over her shoulder, already eyeing the lunch specials. By the fourth day, rumors said she'd found new prey to chase. What a player. I swore I'd never speak to her again. At the sports meet, Jess led the cheer squad in those tiny skirts, legs glowing like moonlight. When our eyes met, she smiled sweetly, a dimple appearing. My pulse went wild. I stood frozen, consumed by feelings I couldn't name. That's when it started. This stupid crush on Jess. This irresponsible heartbreaker. When she collapsed later, panic flooded me. I ran faster than ever, praying she'd be okay. Even then, she managed to tease me between coughs. That's how I learned she'd never remembered me. Outside the infirmary, I unclenched my trembling hand. The stolen campus badge read Jessica Wilson in clean engraving. She didn't remember me, but I couldn't forget her. I needed to keep this piece of her secret.